Hi, I'm Griffin Paul.
And I'm Liana Dellin. Here are tonight's top stories.
Killer plants take over an airplane.
Meliora weekend declared every single week.
And pregnancy. This time it's serious.
All this and more in just a second.
Okay, now.
And now it's time for your URTV Action News!
Once again, women across the country are being infected with pregnancy. Although it is a plague that can only be passed from men to women, cases have been bloating up around the country. Symptoms range from mild to severe and can last up to 9 months. While not entirely certain why women become infected, U of R scientists believe that rape, booze, stupidity, motherly instinct, and perhaps the lack thereof are some main causes. Most affected by the scourge are white trash women, whose symptoms return almost immediately after they go away. I don't know what happens. After the baby comes out, I just get another one all up in there, and before you know it, I'm a proud mother of 12 and a half beautiful babies, said one afflicted woman with a cig in one hand and a can of whiskey in the other. Sometimes the disease only strikes once, and sometimes it returns over and over, especially in Mormons. There is a cure for the disease, but most people avoid it because it involves punching the afflicted woman in the stomach. Luckily, men are only carriers and do not show symptoms of this dreaded disease. Now to Liana on the street.
Residents of the small town of Edgar have yet to come up with a fitting name for the tiny village's most highly trafficked street, a 2-lane, tree-lined roadway running through the main downtown area. At first, we wanted to call it Preeminent Avenue, or Primary Lane, or maybe even Boulevard Prime, said local businessman Peter Gallows, who added that the street is the one he mainly uses when driving through town. It's really important that we name this soon, being that it's the main street around and all. Edgar Mayor Tom Kazel said he hopes to resolve the problem before mid-October, when the town holds its as-yet unnamed annual German-themed festival, informally known as October Party. And now to Seth with sports!
Thanks, Liana. In sports news, Oakland Raiders fans set 3 new fan-only records this past Sunday. The new records include the highest number of times doing the wave with 75, the loudest overall decibel level at 160, and most importantly, the greatest number of opposing fans knocked unconscious with 350. However, rumors are spreading that the fans may have taken performance-enhancing supplements, such as alcohol and human growth hormone. It's great to see all of the fans out there cheering for our team and supporting us, and it really adds to the overall level of excitement, said slugger Barry Bonds. But if they're only able to achieve these levels because they're cheating, then I don't know if I support their actions. The Commissioner's Office released a statement on Monday, saying that they will include an asterisk next to the new records due to the cheating. When asked for his reaction to this during the game, fan Al Miggins smashed the URTV reporter over the head with a beer bottle, and then proceeded to run into the field naked. Back to you, Liana.
Thank you, Seth. And now to Robert with Sappy News.
Thanks, Griffin. A half-page love letter was written using Microsoft Word on Monday by Derek Glassburn to his girlfriend, Amanda Tinker. The letter was expanded to a full page by increasing the document's margins by a 1/4 inch on all sides. Even after saying that she was prettier than every girl I have ever dated and that I loved her more than a bunch of my stuff, the letter looked like I had put nothing into it, said Glassburn. Besides lengthening the margin, I had changed its fonts from Times New Roman to Helvetica and increased the font size to 12.8, and I boldfaced every single word. Glassborn reportedly handed 2 pages to Tinker, deciding at the last minute to add a cover page titled Amanda Tinker, Why I Love You. Back to Griffin.
Wow, Robert, that was so romantic. And now to Katie with Smart People.
Thanks, Griff Dog. A study released Tuesday by the Lyman Center for Policy Evaluation and Strategy may have uncovered a link between school-based education and human smartness. Based on these forms we had people fill out, and these charts that we came up with, we're pretty sure exposure to education in early life is consistent with higher levels of smartness having overall, said Brent Shale, one of the study's co-authors. Also, we figured out that more educated people are, the better they are at doing complicated stuff, like filling out forms and understanding charts. If the study results are corroborated, the researchers say, it could mean a whole new understanding of, what smartness even is. Back to you, Liana.
Thanks, Wags. Now to Adam with evolution news.
This afternoon, President George W. Bush left a press conference early to pay tribute to his #1 fan. After standing over the porcelain bowl with his pants down for over half an hour, he decided to sit where he had more success. Afterwards, Bush was quoted as saying, "My #1 evolved into a #2. Back to you, G-Love and Special Sauce.
Thanks, Adam, and now to Derek with killer plants!
Last night, a group of 60 Delta Airline passengers were shocked to find that their plane had been piloted by an elm tree. Upon safe arrival at Detroit, one first-class passenger, Robert Smith, asked to commend the pilot on his excellent flying. As he made his way to the cockpit, he noticed a suspicious trail of dead leaves and soil strewn across the aisle. He finally pulled open the door of the cockpit to find a ferocious elm tree staring him down. That tree sitting in the cockpit staring right back at me, just daring me to take another step. It was the most horrifying sight of my life, Smith later commented. I'm lucky to have escaped with my soul. This is not the first time a plant has made its way into the pilot's seat, whether they be vines curled around the controls or Venus flytraps eating passengers' children. These vegetarists are around every corner. At a press conference this morning, the president of Delta Airlines, Dr. X, announced that new security measures are to be put into place to reduce the incidence of renegade plant life infiltration. From now on, before boarding each flight, all passengers will be placed into a small chamber and bathed in toxic weed killer, especially babies and the elderly. They're the most likely to be plants in disguise.
Thank you, Derek. And now to Nick with alumni news.
Plans were approved last week for 8 new buildings and a complete renovation of the River campus, after students tricked school officials into thinking that Melior Weekend will now be held every weekend. It is important that the alumni feel cared for as a part of the Rochester family, said Dean of the College Richard Feldman. Without their generous contributions, I just wouldn't have been able to afford my second Porsche and that lap dance I got last week. The biggest project will be the conversion of the Melior Weekend tent into a 25-story, 5-star luxury hotel, complete with casino, spa, and brothel. Of course, current students are banned from entry so that the alumni, quote, don't have to deal with those punk kids, said Feldman. Furthermore, the Pitt, Douglas, and Danforth will all be closed because workers, quote, don't look like the alumni, complain too much, and just make the alumni overall sad. This will leave Starbucks as the only food outlet on campus. But don't worry, says Feldman, we're installing a toaster this week! Back to you, Griffin.
Thanks, Nick. And now to Alex. He's bisexual.
Thanks, Liana. The parents of recently admitted bisexual Jeremy Lambert said they completely half understand their 19-year-old son's lifestyle choice and are 50% behind him, no matter what happens, sources reported Monday. I can honestly say that I partially accept my son for the special person he is, said Kenneth Lambert, 44, adding that nothing would ever change that. I know it must have been tough for him to come out and tell us part of what he had to say. He should be very proud of half of himself. While Lambert's mother, Lisa, has remained silent on the matter, many believe that unlike her husband, she is almost 3/4 accepting of her son. Back to you, Griffin.
Thanks, Alex. And now to Jake with surgery.
Just moments after successfully stopping his patient's heart at 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday night, bleary-eyed surgeon Dr. Dennis Kelly called it a night and decided to finish performing the quadruple bypass surgery on Harold Cruz, age 67, in the morning. Honestly, all these organs looking the same to me right now, said Kelly, calling his mind complete mush. I need to take a long breather and come back to this with fresh eyes in the morning. Kelly said he knew it was time to call it quits when he caught himself attempting to reharvest the exact same organ he had removed 20 minutes earlier.
Thank you for watching URTV Action News. The song wrong.
I want to hit this. I want to nail it.
Nick called Liana fat. This and more after.
I always smile. I'm gonna be sad. I look ridiculous.
Oh wait, shit.
I don't know who we're going to next.
Said that these aren't the words and I should take the segment over.
Move, bitch! Get out the way!